Well, good afternoon, folks. This is Barry's Best Hunting. I'm Mike and I do bees. Welcome back to my bee yard here in southeast Louisiana. Alright, folks. So you can hear our resident crow. It's been going for now the last 3 weeks. It is so aggravating. I guess it's mating season for them. They are squawking and doing crazy stuff and making noises, and it's about to drive me nuts. Let me tell you. I went to a class yesterday, a queen rearing class. Southwest Mississippi Bee Club put it on. Great class up in Macomb, Mississippi with Dr. Jeff Harris. I enjoyed it, okay? And I got to meet, I'm telling you guys, this humbles me. It humbles me when people come up and say, hey, you know, man, I see you on YouTube and I watch you. And I don't really know what to say. I just begin to talk with you because I don't know what to say. I mean, we went to Man Lake a couple weeks ago, Joey Rawls and I saw a viewer in there. I didn't catch his name. Maybe he told me. I don't remember. But then in the story, he came up to me and introduced himself, and he knew who Joey was. And then Lawrence was in Man Lake, and his son, Lawrence Jr. But it humbles me when you guys come up to me. The Mississippi Bee, Southwest Mississippi Bee Association yesterday, that class, it was a great class. Met some guys there that viewed the videos, and again, I was humbled. Kenny Smith, he was there. He introduced himself, very great guy. And Jeffrey was with him, it looked like, or was sitting next to him, introduced himself. I met Matt. I met John Curtis from down the bayou. I heard that accent. I used to work for Edison's West Offshore, so I knew that accent well. I knew he was from down there somewhere. And his partner, Timmy, that came up with him. And just a host of other guys. It was just a good time, a great class. Man, when you can get into these classes, it blows the lids off of YouTube. You learn so much more sitting in a class like that. And man, it just different ideas from all those guys. Now I'm meeting guys up in Mississippi and all, and I'm learning ideas from them. And what's cool about it is you're getting their perspectives and ideas, and it's a big networking thing. I encourage so many people to join bee clubs, go to other meetings, meet other beekeepers, learn their ways, let them learn your ways, and it's really better than YouTube and all that stuff, because I'm a big research paper, periodicals, books, and then I like really networking with people that have been doing it. And it's just the experience that they have, and even my experience of 9 years, and maybe a 2-year beekeeper's experience that came out of the woodwork and thought outside the box, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got this great idea from them. You know, so you don't discount them just because they don't have a lot of experience. But I recommend everybody be a part of a bee club, some sort of association. Get to these classes. There's nothing better than being in person with beekeepers. And look, beekeepers are outside of going to my church meetings and my Bible studies that I go to. Bee club meetings are my other favorite time to go visit with other beekeepers. It's just good times. It was terrible during the pandemic because we didn't get to meet a lot, but we started meeting in ours a few months back, quite a few months ago, actually before the new year, in a restaurant when they opened us up and were allowing us to do that, and it has been great. That class was great. Enjoyed meeting all you guys. If you're watching, if I missed somebody, I apologize. I was just going off the top of my head, the guys I remember, and there's a few more, but anyway, it was a great class. So let's get on with what we're doing today. Right now we're in the midst of a privet flow. It's starting to wind down. I'm seeing the flowers dying back off, but the bees explode during this flow, and if we're not careful, it's a great build-up flow, but if we're not careful, we'll push them into swarm mode. Did that last year with a few, and I've had one swarm of caught. If you don't see them in the trees, they didn't swarm, right? No, they really did. I had about 3 colonies that I'm pretty sure swarmed, and one of them I caught. Remember I told you I had a few that already swarmed? I walked out here and I saw this. They were up in the air. They actually just lighted on this tree. They're just now coming on this tree. I think they may be leaving. If not, we're gonna try the old metal to metal. But sure enough, we had one of them go. So again, I had 3 out here that I was pretty sure were on the verge and had some cells, and I split one, but thought maybe the other one hadn't quite left yet because there were a lot of bees, but I'm pretty sure I know which ones they are. And matter of fact, I'll probably find marked queens in these. The one I caught out of the tree the other day and this one. Swarms happen, guys. I've seen Ian show swarms in trees next to his a couple years ago. I've watched Bob Benny show empty spots where swarms didn't requeen. The big guys, it happens to them. It happens to everybody. If you think it don't, well, I'm not so sure. I had one guy tell me he had 50 hives and not one of them ever swarmed. And I got some over here grouping too, so looks like they can't figure out where they want to go. I don't think it's 2 swarms because they're so spread out. See these? So they're here, and I've had a swarm on this tree before. Sometimes they tend to go in the same places, and I got this one. So, who knows what they're doing. But we'll let them get settled and put them in some boxes. It might be 2 swarms. The plus side of a swarm when you catch it is you did a natural split and at least you caught it. But I know which 3 hives were ready. It could be another one, of course, but I think I'm pretty sure. But I'll be going through them today, and we'll see if I got a marked queen. I'm gonna go through a couple nukes and check some honey boxes and see where we're at. All right, let's let them settle down. All right, so they appear to be going wishy-washy between, not landing on one or the other. I've heard that the metal to metal works good. And here's the crazy thing, they're actually coming from behind me. So that makes me wonder where they could have come from. Maybe next door, maybe the neighbors' colonies. I'd say right here though. Let's see what happens with this. So I have always heard that worked. I've tried it a few times and never seen it work. Y'all tell me, has it ever worked for you? It did get them to go ahead and land on that. They were leaving that branch, but it didn't look like they were going to that one. There's still some at that tree. But what I did notice was a colony that looks like they went back to the entrance where they might have been coming from. Colony on the far right. But look, they seem to be going back in there. Did it work? I don't know, because now they're no longer on. I think it was really 2 swarms. They're barely even on this tree anymore. They're just kind of a few compared to what were there, and I see them all piling back over there. So I guarantee you we open that one up and it's gonna have some swarm cells. So we may have to split it and then recombine it for the flow. Did it work or didn't it work? Because see, now these don't seem to want to stay on this branch. But there they go. Now they're congregating. But see, they're thinning out again. So maybe I'll beat on this pan some more. I think I got 2 swarms. I think one went back with the banging. Now this one's starting to leave again. Well, let's bang some more. They're coming off of this tree and going back to this colony. I watched them, and the traffic is definitely going back. So maybe the tanging did work. It doesn't put them back in the hive. It makes them land where they're at, but maybe I caught them trying to land and they went back to the colony. I've heard of that happening, but see that? They're coming in now, and they're coming off of that little oak that was over there. So I also see a colony that had no bees on it that's piling up. So I got a couple of them that are piling up. Yeah, look at this. So that definitely brought them back. I've never had that work before. They're off of that oak now, for the most part. So we had 2 swarms. One looked like it was already going to settle, the one I had you on for a while. And then there's this one. So yeah, they came back. So you can bet they're going to come back out again. They're going to come back out again. So we'll take a look at that one and see what's going on. That's what I'm going to do. And then there's this. This one had no activity on it a minute ago, and now it's got activity. And this one on the right, what it was a colony that began to build cells. And I was kind of actually surprised how quickly it got away. So I split it and moved the queen over. Today my plan was to recombine it, and it looks like I may have to. Alright, so adventure in the bee yard. It's always something, isn't it? Always something. But hey, it's all part of it. This is a very loosely packed. I think they've actually went back. You know, this is the other one. This is the other one. That's right. This is the other one. Because they're leaving too, and they're going back. Because they're not going out of here, they're going back, and they're not near as many. Adventure in the bee yard, always something. And bees are going to be bees. Huh? They're completely off of that water oak now, and back on that other colony is back in there, and then this one, I don't know what they're doing. But I know I got a ton over on number 25 there. So I'm guessing they're going back there. I'm looking at the traffic, and that's what it looks like. Alright, so the only surprise out of that, 25 I kind of expected. You know, sometimes you can split them. If you happen to split them a little bit late, it doesn't matter. They're already going to go. And so they take the cells that you left them and the bees that you left them, and they go. Another strategy that my buddy Kenny uses is, if you see them that they're like that, is to take them and move them and put a weak colony in their spot, rob all the field bees, and knock the numbers down that way. And that works pretty well for him. And that was kind of verified yesterday in that class too, about how the field bees help dictate and find the new site. So that was interesting. All right, I got to get busy. I've got a full day's of work and a half a day to do it. They're all gone back home now. They didn't leave. There's no cloud that moved. They all moved back to that box back there. So I guess maybe this tanging worked. That's the first time I've seen any kind of result from it. I've tried it before, felt like an idiot standing in the middle of my field with a pot and a pan. But I keep hearing people say it works, and I keep wanting to try it. And I guess I still keep looking like a fool standing out in the field hitting a pan. But I'm looking at both of these colonies, and they're both back in. So here's what happened. In my experience, what I've seen is that colony I split and took the queen from. I found the queen. I did find her, physically put my eyes on her, moved her right there, and left them some cells. Now, what I have found happen in the past before is they'll still swarm sometimes. That's why I don't care to do splits, letting my colonies get all the way to swarming and then split them and take the cells and put them in, because what I find happens is they swarm anyway. I say I cut them down on numbers. I cut them way down on numbers. I cut them way down. Now, of course, the field bees went back, but I accounted for that. But you know, they will still sometimes let that first virgin, or maybe a couple virgins emerge, and they'll still go and leave some virgins behind. You may have a swarm out there with nothing but virgins. Cast swarms or secondaries are always like that. And I've had them where you put them in a box and the queen just never made it back, and you have a queenless colony. So they'll still do it. They'll still take a few virgins, and then they'll leave the other virgin back, and now you've got 2 colonies out there trying to get mated queens. And that's not the end of the world, because in a yard like this you recombine. But on to the work. Yeah, everybody's back out of the trees now. We're all back out of the trees. But I'm gonna look in that one and see what kind of cells I got. There's been 7 days, so they can have cap cells. And go see what we got while we're doing that. They really were on track, so that one's stumping me. Well, the other ones I knew that was happening. All right, I want to go over here really quick and check this one swarm that y'all saw me catch in the town of Hammond. It's still in a nuke. I want to get it out of there, see how it's doing. So, first and foremost, we'll take a look at what we call the tax swarm. Julie Enslow suggested we name it and follow it. I'm gonna try and follow it, but I get so busy. Really, these YouTube videos do take a while. So I'm trying to get inspections done before the evening, but let's take a look at it anyway. I do want to try and follow it for the folks that have been diligently watching my channel. And let's see what we got in here. Now remember, this is the one that was still in the cluster whenever we put it in the box, and now we put some brood in there, they spread out. Let's see what she's doing. So this came out of town. Never got a call back from the lady, so apparently I think everything is all right. Ooh, they're gonna need to go in a 10 frame. Let's give them a little smoke, because you see, there we go. Seem to be humming kind of loud. See if they're doing anything. Yeah. No, nothing much. Oh yeah, I'll take that back. Oh, it is full of eggs. Just absolutely full of eggs. So how's the tax swarm doing? So far, so good. Let's put them here. Let's just take a quick gander and see. Yeah, they're gonna have to go in 10 frame. Those will be capped soon. That's full of larvae. Chocker block full of larvae. Okay. There's some brood and some nectar mixed together, and they're finishing capping some larvae. Brood looks nice and healthy. There's all kind of larvae around the brood. I didn't even look for the queen. Probably should be doing that, huh? Alright. Remember, this is the queen. I saw her go in that little pipe, and then I saw her in the editing when she came back in the box. Alright, this I believe is the brood frame we put in. Yes. Drones mixed in it. So she didn't do this, obviously. But she did this one. Wow. My God, it's a good queen here. Anything in them cups? Still not a lot of bees in here, but there will be here pretty quick. Wow, she's good. This was that nasty frame that had that old mildew pollen. So what did they do with it? Well, let's see what she did with it. Appears to me she cleaned it up. They cleaned it up pretty well and gave her a nice spot to put some brood. So, how's the tax swarm doing? Well, you tell me. That is full. There's my queen. And it is full of larvae. So, I think she's doing just fine, Julie. Let's carefully put her back in. Nothing worse than putting the frame with the queen back in and hearing a crunch. You know good and well it probably ain't her, but man, it just makes you think. Alright, so tax swarm. Happy to see it doing good. And they need a 10 frame. ASAP. So ASAP might be midweek. Alright guys, well, got to deal with 2 of these swarming hives. The one single that swarmed versus the queen that came from it when I split it. I'm just going to flip-flop them. I'll give her back to workers. I'm going to check her before I do. And hopefully that'll, take a lot of numbers from them some more. Maybe that'll prevent them from swarming. Let them just make a queen. This one here, I'm not quite sure why it's swarming. It was split. It was split. It was broken down pretty good. I think we pulled a nuke or 2 off of it to be sure, but the thing is with our season down here is our season's so long. We almost have to split middle of March. middle to the end of March, if you haven't split, you're going to sustain some swarms. It's just how it goes. Mr. Ed, for example, did his splits and found swarm cells. 3rd week of March, he was loaded up with swarm cells. Well, you know, you can let them swarm and then hope they build up, and now you're taking a chance as to whether they requeen. So it's a situation. Well, then you turn around down here and they can build up so fast with the length of the season before a major flow, you may have to split them again. It's a challenge as far as swarm control with the length of season we have, because literally we're loaded with brood by the end of February and they're building, you know. So you've got your first emergence of brood at the end of February, pretty much beginning of March, and every day afterwards. So middle of March, they're ready to book. End of April, they're ready to go again. And that's what splits. Oh well, it is what it is. We move on, we move forward. All right, guys, well look, I'm gonna call it a day for you guys right now, and I'm gonna go finish up a bunch of stuff I gotta do. I got about 6 hours worth of work to do in the next 4, and I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank you guys for supporting me. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, family, anybody that just enjoys watching bees. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. May Lord God bless you. See y'all later.